something that I have implemented myself in the past 2 years, which I can truly say has changed my life upside down. So everything that I'm going to speak today is from my professional and my personal experiences, and I'll be talking and integrating total 4 pillars of my life, which I believe has changed my life completely. So let us go 2 years back when I actually started my journey when I was in my college, and I was like any other college kid, around 17 to 18 years old, just got that freedom out of my house, that pocket money that I can spend. I don't need to ask my parents where I want to spend that money, and there was a lot of freedom. Most of the time in the first year it was all about going out with friends, eating, hanging out, and basically I always had large ambitions, but I did not have a clarity on how exactly I'm going to achieve it. So if anyone asked me ki, what do you want to do in life? I was like, I want to get a car, I want to get a house. But if anyone asked me, okay, that's great, but how exactly are you going to do that? I used to go blank. So I think this is something that is common with a lot of teenagers or a lot of people who are in their early 20s or in teenage. So this is how my first 2 semesters were, just chilling and hanging out with friends, making new friends. But apparently then came the final semester exams and I got serious for my final exams. And that is when I told no to all my friends going out, eating, even for a small chai breaks, I had to say no to every single thing because I had to focus on my academics. And for 1 month, I was isolated studying for my end semester exams. And I performed very well in my exams and I was like happy, okay, now let's go back to my friends and chill. And then something had changed. All my friends who I thought were the people who were going to last with me forever, they stopped inviting me, they stopped welcoming me, and that is when that was the first phase of my life when I realized something, that I realized that those people who were with me in the initial years were just for maybe hanging out. They were not part of my growth. They were not interested whether I'm growing or not. They just wanted to have fun. So that was the first loneliness hit that I took. But loneliness is not always bad. Loneliness often acts as a mirror as well. So at the same time, I saw a student, Vikrant, from my class who was studying for FRM, Financial Risk Management. And I thought, if this guy is taking a step to actually change his life, then why I can't take the same? So seeing him, I got inspired by him, and then I actually started working on everything why I actually came to college, and I started to make a roadmap. How can I exactly get where I want to be? So I started connecting dots backwards, and I think this is a great takeaway that you can take from my journey, that it always becomes hard when we try to see forward, but it always becomes easier when you try to connect the dot backwards. So a very easy example would be, I always wanted to start a financial consultancy firm of my own, or a business of finance and risk portfolio management of my own. And I thought, how exactly I'm going to get there? So I started making a roadmap backwards. I decided, okay, so if I need to start a firm of my own, I will definitely need certifications, exams, and some credibility. So to build that credibility in the initial years, I will need to get a good job so that I have credibility, I have experience, and then eventually I can start my own business. And to get a good job, I will need few certifications. Because there are thousands of people who are doing BCom, BBA, and degrees like this. Then how exactly I'm going to stand out between this crowd? And that is when I decided just a BCom degree for me would not be enough if my ambitions are so high. And then I decided I'm going to do CFA, because CFA is something that is going to help me a good job. And from school I have always been curious about money management, finance, stock markets, derivatives, options. So I decided that CFA is the thing, that is something that is made for me. And then I decided, okay, so if I need to clear a CFA along with my college exams, I cannot be chilling, I cannot be wasting time. So that is when I decided I need to study 2 hours, 3 hours every single day for consistently over a year so that I can clear the exam. So now I had a roadmap. If I'm studying 2 hours today, I know it's contributing to my journey, to my ambition of opening my own financial firm 10 years down the line. So this way, I think anyone in whatever field you are, you can always draft a roadmap backwards and decide what you need to do today. Only when you know what you need to do today, what you need to do this week, what you need to do this month, when you have that clarity, that vision, only then I think you will be able to get that focus. And in today's world, I would say that everyone have easiest access to growth, yet it is hardest to grow today because of the fact that there are just too many things. The environment is so much, you don't know what to learn, where to go. There is just too much distraction. So once you have a vision like this, it will help you clarify, it will help you go on the right track. So yes, that was the journey of my finance, how it began, how I started studying for my CFA level 2. And I started feeling good because I was growing every day, learning every day. But then again, I started to draft a vision of myself, which I believe everyone should do as well. What does your future self look like? Is it a fit person? Is it an obese person? Is he rich? Is he not? What kind of life is he living? When I thought about that, I did not want to vision myself as a person who is maybe just good in finance with a firm, but he's fat. Because I was always a fat and unfit kid in the college. So I decided just finance or just my CFA will not help me become my ideal self. And that is exactly when I started working on my fitness. And when I talk about fitness, it does not mean you just need to go to the gym. That is not fitness. Fitness can be waking up on the right time, eating healthy, cutting on junk foods, or in fact just walking 5,000 steps every single day. As simple as that. So that is when I started integrating fitness with my exams, with studying for my exams. And because of this, now I was already an exception in my college because of the fact that I was the one studying for 2 exams. One for my CFA, one for my semester exams, and another one I was doing fitness. So I did not really get a lot of time to hang out with my friends and everything. And because of that, I used to feel lost. I always used to feel, am I going on the right track or not? And that is when I used to watch motivational, inspirational content on YouTube and Instagram. And I saw a lot of people sharing their journey. And after seeing them, I used to feel confident. Okay, this person is also studying like me. He's also grinding like me. He's on the right track. He's doing something good, which means basically what I'm doing is also on the right track. And again, I questioned myself. Yeah, this person is doing the exact same thing. And he's reaching thousands of people through Instagram, through YouTube. Why can't I do the same? So this was my first push into the space of content creation. I thought, if I can create content, I can lead to mass and I can stand out even more. Because today if you see, why am I standing here? There are 1,000 of people who have already cracked CFA level 2. There are 1,000 of employees in Deloitte who are in M&A. But I get this opportunity today, it is because of the sole fact that my content is out there and I am being marketed myself even while I speak here. My Instagram is speaking for me, my YouTube is speaking for me. So this clarity I got back then. I saw a popular businessman, Alex Hormozy, I got inspired by him. And the 2 fundamental keys he said was, if a person documents himself, he never regrets that. So if you guys take a very basic example, if you guys watch a video of yourself, maybe when you were a kid or maybe when you were in 5th grade, you always enjoy watching that. And that is something I started, okay, even if I start content creation today, even if I fail, I will always enjoy seeing myself 10 years down the line. That was one. Second, he said that distribution was king, which basically meant that today if I want to, let's say, start a clothing brand, I can go to a factory, I can get my own designs and I can print the designs and I will have the product with me. But the challenge will come, how do I even sell it? There are thousands of brands selling their own merchandises. So that is when I realized, okay, maybe I don't have the money, the capital to build a product right now, but what I can do is I can build a distribution so that eventually, once I have a distribution, in the future I can integrate, I can bring my own services, my products, and then I will have the distribution to sell it. So these were the few things that went in my mind before starting content creation. And that is how my content creation journey started. I practiced for 6 to 8 months, tried speaking in front of the camera because I was always an introverted kid, never able to speak on camera, never able to speak on stages. And that is exactly how my journey started in the space of content creation. And again, now it is not easy to manage content creation, fitness, CFA along with a full-time college degree. So that is exactly where the 4th pillar of my life came in, which is leverage, and by leverage I mean AI. So initially it started with ChatGPT, as I think most of the people started with ChatGPT, but eventually I knew that again, I cannot stay average in the field of AI by just learning ChatGPT. So that is when I started to attend more workshops on AI workshops. I started attending events of AI, and then I figured and I started using multiple tools which gave me leverage. If I have to name a few tools that I used, were Notebook LM, Graphy, Perplexity, and these tools, VO3. So what basically happened with tools like this? Before, what I was doing was all my content was being made by me, scripting, editing, everything was being done by me. But when I started using leverage of AI, something that used to take me 4 hours, 5 hours to do, now it was getting done in 30 minutes. And now most of this remaining time was spent in learning more, growing more. So with the help of tools like Graphy, before I had a sales team, I needed to manage my content. I wanted to see what is everyone saying about my content, how is the feedback and everything. So this was either done by me, which used to consume a lot of time, or I needed to hire people who could do this on my behalf. But then because of learning and attending workshops, I got to know platform, and this platform Graphy basically helped me enable about sales, marketing, distribution, email marketing, WhatsApp marketing. Everything was done on this one particular platform. I started using Notebook LMs to started analyzing the DRHP of IPOs to analyze the financial statements. So now most of my work was still the same, but the most repetitive work was getting replaced by AI. So I could only focus on the core aspects. So this is how I started using AI, and today a lot of my work, like before I had a team of approximately 15 to 20 people, now that is reduced to a team of 2 or 3 people because each and everyone in my team is using AI, and most of the inefficient work, remember the word inefficient work, has been replaced. So I think AI is definitely the next, it's not even the next big thing, it's already happening. So I would rather tell everyone of you to take an effort to learn about that as well. So to summarize the entire journey, if you forget the entire speech and you just need to take 4 lessons from this, that would be: first, you need to start mastering a particular skill. For me, that was CFA. What it helped me with, it helped me with the clarity, it helped me with the vision, what I need to do. So that got me on the right path. Second is that you need to focus on building a distribution, because you need to market yourself, and the fact that if you do this, you'll not have to go find for clients, you will not have to find for jobs, because you'll be visible out there. And it will help you stand out from all the people in your field. So that's second. Third is leveraging all of this using AI. You can use multiple tools. I think if you go on the internet, you already know how many tools exist for every single thing. So you can go and start learning and growing about AI. And fourth, that is fitness. Because what fitness helps you, what I strongly believe is, if you can control what goes in your body, you can control what goes in your mind. So fitness will help you. These are not 4 different things. Each system supports the other. So yes, that is all about me. I hope you learned a lesson or 2 from me. Thank you so much for having this. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity.